Welcome to TalentHR. I'm Nick. Today we're going to have a look how time off tracking works, along with the different configuration options available for it. So let's start with how employees can actually request that time off. An employee can simply click the book time off right from the portal to get started. Here, employees can select the time period for the time off request. Let's say we're going to choose Thursday to Saturday here, whether it's a vacation, sick leave, or any other type available in your company setup. They can also add a note to explain the request if they want to give more context, let's say, for example. And if they click on customize, this is where they can get more flexible options, like requesting half days or even specific hours off, depending, of course, on your company's time off policy. So, and if the time off requests require approval, it'll be automatically routed to the employer's line manager or to any additional team member you've set as a time off approver. They can respond to the request in a few ways. So, one of the ways that can be done within Talent HR is from the For Action tab. You go to Time Off Requests, and you can approve and reject from here, or via email notification, through the Talent HR mobile app, or even via Slack if the integration is enabled. And if you want to see who's going to be out in the upcoming days, just head over to the calendar. From here, you can adjust the time period you want. And for example, right now, we're looking at the full month of September. This makes it easy to plan ahead and keep track of time off overlaps across the whole team. TalentHR also supports integrations with Google and Outlook calendars that can also help out for you fully. You can view the time of calendar in two ways. So right now we see it in the matrix view, but we also have the calendar view. Just pick whichever layout works best for you and your team. You can also filter the calendar view, by location, department, time of type, and more. So you're seeing only what's relevant to you or what you want to actually see in the calendar. Now let's look into the configurations themselves. So let's head to settings and click on time off. We'll begin with the time off types. In Talent HR, you can disable, rename, or even modify the existing time off types. And of course, you can create new ones so you can match the needs of your business. So let's go ahead and actually click add time off type. So we can walk through like creating a simple one. Let's say we're gonna create a new time off. We're gonna call it volunteering. I cannot spell, I do apologize. And we'll say they can get 3 days per year. And every time of type in Talent HR is fully customizable. You can set it whether it's paid or not paid, if it requires or it's auto-approved, if it's visible on the calendar or masked as a vacational, for confidentiality, allow it to overlap with the other time of types. And finally, you can choose whether the employees are allowed to request more days than their remaining balance. And when it comes to setting your time off allowances in Talent HR, there are two main ways to do it. You can apply them through a policy, or you can set them manually, or even mix both, depending on your setup. So let's have a look at policies and how to create one. So if we click on a policy right here, and then we can click add policy. From here, you can start by giving your policy a name and then selecting the time of type that will be applied to. Then you can choose even if the policy gives unlimited days off or follows an accrual-based setup. Before configuring the schedule, you can also set a starting balance for when the policy kicks in. And if you do, you'll have an options like make it retroactive, set a fixed number of days or hours, or skip the starting balance together. So when you're going to be setting up your policy, you'll need to define how much time of your employees will accrue, whether this will be in days, as you can see here, or even hours, and how often. For example, monthly, weekly, quarterly, or even yearly. You can also choose whether the time off will be given, for example, on the first day, or is it during the middle or last, for example. Next, decide when the policy should start on the employee's hire date, after a specific waiting period, or a fixed date you choose. You can also choose an end date for the policy if needed. And if your policy changes over time, for example, like employees reach anniversaries, you can add different rules using milestones. Just click add milestone to add an additional set of rules. For each milestone, you can also set the rules for carryover and balance caps. For example, you might want to allow employees to carry over unused days into the next year. So we'll say yes, and but only until a specific cutoff, like 31st of March, let's say. You can also set a limit on how much can be carried over. So even if an employee has more than 5 days left, they'll only carry over, let's say, 5 days into the new period. In addition to the carryover, you can also set a cap on the total balance for that milestone. For example, making sure it doesn't exceed 30 days per year. Finally, you'll decide whether this policy applies to everyone, or you can choose it to be a specific location, a certain department, or even just to, let's say, full-time employees. So this will allow you to set up the policies you need, and everything comes a bit more automatic. However, if your business follows a standard time of allowance per year, it might be easier to manage it manually using the budget tab. From here, you can set off time off balances directly for your employees without needing to set up policies. For example, you can give bonus days either to everyone with just a click, let's say with a plus, you add, with a minus, remove, or you can even give it to a specific person with just one click. And also you can block specific periods of time when, like, for example, employees aren't allowed to request certain days off, vacation. This is especially useful in peak seasons. So like if you're in the hospitality industry and need all hands on deck during busy months, or in some company-wide events where you want everyone available on a specific day. To set this up, just click Add Blocked Period, choose the time frame you want this to affect, and select the time of types you want to restrict. So you can just, let's say, even pick one if you would like to, or even more. Now, the final setting we have here is configuration. Here you'll find the essential settings. This is where you can define when your time off cycle starts. For example, January 1st, or your even company's fiscal year start. You can choose whether to enable or disable time of request in hours, depending on how flexible you want the system to be for your team. So now, let's also have a look how you can assign additional approvers for an employee. So let's over to the people section and select the profile of the employee you'd like to update. Let's say we're going to update Suzanne's profile right here. In the employee profiles menu, if you click on the actions, you can select time of approvers. Here, you'll see that by default, the employee's line manager is set as the only required time off approver. As we can see here, you can keep it that way or make the line manager as an optional approver instead. You can add more approvers if you'd like to, and you can toggle on if they're required or not. It means that if this person must approve or reject the request for it to be processed in the system. If they're marked as not required, they'll still be notified and can leave a response. That's just for visibility. The system won't base the approval decision on it. And one last thing that I want to show you today is the time off reporting. To access it, we need to go to the report section and then click on time off. Here, you'll get a clear view of time off patterns across your business, like which months or weekdays are the most popular for leave. It's a helpful way to spot trends, plan ahead and make sure you're resourced properly throughout the year. You can even filter by location, division, and department. And if you click on the budget tab, you can dive deeper into the numbers, seeing exactly how much time off each employee has used. And that's pretty much it. Now, all you need to do is head over to Talent HR to the website and click on Start Free to explore how time off management works firsthand. You'll get a 14-day of full access to all features so you can try everything before making a decision. And if you visit the pricing page, you'll see a clear breakdown of what's included in each plan so you can choose which one fits your team the best.